Hello there folks, I am Dan Brown from Sort of Interesting, and over the last year I have been almost obsessively using my Trangia mini cookset. So I'm going to throw loads of different footage of me using it in all sorts of locations and times of day and night, and we're going to talk about what I love about it, why I use it so much, and also some of the negatives and some of the other things that I haven't chosen to upgrade to yet. Let's start with the boring stuff. How is this actually holding up after a year of use? During the last 12 months, I've genuinely used this at least 40 times to boil a load of water for drinks, such as the hot chocolate we're about to have, make loads of pasta and noodles, and I've also completely failed with my terrible cookery skills to make pancakes in the frying pan. As you can see, things are a little bit tarnished and charred as you might expect, but ultimately everything is still functional, and if it wasn't for those more recent failed attempts at pancakes, even the non-stick surface of the frying pan would be in excellent condition. Now let's have a look at it when it was brand new. Something you may notice straight away here is not only did it come with that clear plastic sheet to protect the non-stick coating of the pan, but the burner itself is also in this yellow plastic bag, both of which you are really meant to keep for as long as you can and return the burner to that bag when not in use, just to help with tarnishing and I assume with the fumes not seeping out, etc. But ultimately, you can see, compared to that year-long usage footage, apart from the fact it's a bit dirtier and tarnished, it's all completely functional and not looking too bad at all. Now, you're not meant to use this indoors, but here's a little bit of indoor footage so that you can see, with a perfect zero wind condition, how the flame actually comes up and the alcohol that you're burning feeds through the little holes. I think it's quite a beautiful thing in many respects. So I just want to note early on here that one of the best things is how small and lightweight this is. You can see without fuel, 354 grams, pop in a bit of bioethanol, spill it a little bit as you see, 419 grams, and that's with the fuel in there as well. The fact that it is also so small that it can fit into the side pocket of one of my small rucksacks is just amazing, especially when you consider that's a self-contained unit that has two different types of pans, and the fact, as you've seen me there, illustrate that you can actually light this relatively easily with a spark. Just a little bonus thing. I think that's quite a cool way to light it rather than use matches. But I always take matches with me because I can't always do it with a spark. Anyway, let's try and have a sensible minute and give you some actual useful insight into using this thing after a year's experience. So the first two benefits we've just mentioned are pretty obvious. It's very lightweight and it's very small in that self-contained unit. And of course, in that small size, it's packing two separate pans for cooking. It's also an incredibly simple piece of kit. As you can see, there's not much that can functionally break about this. You literally put the alcohol in, you burn it with a pan resting on the pan holder, and there you go. Just keep an eye on it and hope your cookery skills are up to scratch. So that's another great thing, that here, after all this usage, after being in my rucksack bouncing around for hundreds of miles, it's absolutely fine. There's a few dents, don't get me wrong, from where I've not necessarily had it in the best position, and it's certainly fallen on the ground a few times, so it may not be the most flattest of pancake making surface on that non-stick pan. So the simplicity of this particular set is obviously what gives it that small lightweight benefit, but it's also where the main drawback comes in, because it's so basic. There's no sort of windshield, etc. And it's that exposed flame which I think ultimately leads to the main downsides with this. So I'm going to leave this to play in little clips of when I was there boiling my water for my hot chocolate amongst the garlic. And you'll see that because there was a little bit of wind blowing through, of course, with no wind guard or any sort of advanced extras that you can get for these kits, and I'll show you in a second something I'm really interested in picking up at some point, but you can see the wind is completely open to rush through and blow the flame through in any which direction, which can not only be a potential hazard depending on what you've got set up in the vicinity of the stove, which is why ideally you should have everything well away from it, but of course it also means that it's blowing that flame, and that heat that's coming off that flame in other directions other than straight up into the pan. So these are not necessarily the most efficient of ways to boil a bit of water, for example, in this case. And where I don't really have a problem with that, and I would actually say one of the things I like about this is that because it forces you to slow down and it has almost that hypnotic dancing flame around it, it's in many cases it's really nice experience to use. And I've recorded videos on this exact topic, that being out in the woods and just enjoying whatever's going on around you and the little bit of a flame dancing around and feeling the heat from it, it's a romantic woodland cookery experience. However, of course, not only is that potentially inefficient, as we've said, in this case it took 7 minutes to boil up this cup's worth of water, but also, depending on what you're doing, if you're out trying to do stealth camping or keep a low profile, because you've got such a wild exposed flame. I suppose wild isn't the correct word because it's obviously contained coming from the burner, but because it's lapping and licking its way up in every which direction, it's very, very visible. As you can see there, as soon as I've taken the pan off, you can really see how much of a flame there is. A quick side note here, this is the regulator cap, I suppose you'd call it, with an adjustable opening on the top that is meant to allow you to change the amount of flame and heat coming from the stove. I'm going to say this, I think that's the weakest part of this kit. It's unpredictable, it's a bit hit or miss, but you can see with the top closed, I use that to actually smother the flame and put the stove out. Again, really simple functions ultimately. So one of the other benefits of something like this is because it's so simple, it's also pretty cheap, at least in my opinion. When I bought it, it cost me £29.78, which I've certainly got that value out. At the time of recording, it's £31.14 to buy, which again, I'd still be happy to pay. And looking at the last 90 days price on Amazon, you can see it's actually been well down into the 20s. If I pick this up for around £25, I would be really happy. Let's talk a little more broadly as we wrap this up here and think about why you might use something like this or why you might not. Now, as I say, it might be inefficient, but it is really portable. So for me, if you're just wanting something that might even be a little bit fun to use to take out on walks with you, or maybe with other family members to go out on a short walk and set up somewhere to have a hot drink, etc., this sort of thing is going to be ideal. And like I say, I really enjoy using it. But if you're maybe wanting something a little more predictable, a little more efficient and fast boiling, then things like the jet boil or the fire maple gas stove that I've got are, of course, in almost all cases going to beat this sort of thing out in terms of efficiency. Obviously, you've got a self-contained unit with a lot of the gas things as well. And, of course, you've got that potential of a much more stealthy item. A gas boiler is going to be a lot louder than this when it's being used, but the flame is going to be far smaller and significantly less runtime of it being used. So I can speak for myself now as a massive, massive fan of the Trangia and say that even I sometimes want the more efficient gas boiling system. And as you can see on screen now, I'm very lucky to also have a fire maple gas stove. And so again, sometimes I want that really efficient quick boiling setup, and sometimes I want the Trangia calm, hypnotic cookery experience. For example, this night, absolutely perfect example. In the small hours, I couldn't sleep because my dad was in hospital and the next day he was having a quadruple heart bypass. And while I was milling around, completely helpless, not able to do anything, I couldn't sleep, and in the small hours I just went out with the Trangia. I spoke to the camera, I watched the pot boil, I watched the flame dance around, and again, it was just a perfect calm experience, and something that I wouldn't necessarily associate with cookery. I know all I'm doing is boiling water, but please let me bask and revel in the fact I'm at least making pasta in the great outdoors. But in all seriousness, like I say, I really enjoy this thing. The fact that I'm still using it, it's still perfectly functional. I couldn't really ask for much more from it. I will say though, and I'll put this on screen now, there are sort of more fancy Trangia sets that have a proper wind guard, and I am very interested in that because that will likely remove some of the issues I've said about the flame being so visible and so open to the wind and so on. And so I may invest in something like that in the near future and see what I think. But of course, then you're getting away from this ultra lightweight, ultra simple setup. Although, to be fair, I don't think it's not as if it's going to weigh a ton. But anyway, that's possibly for a future video and future adventures. Right now, I am absolutely over the moon to have had this for a year and to still be literally going out and using it almost week in, week out. Right now, though, I'm going to say a massive thank you for watching this video. I'll leave an Amazon link down below to this stove, so if you buy through that, I will get a commission, so it's an excellent way to help support these videos if you're looking at getting something like this anyway. I also want to say a tremendously big thank you to my PayPal and Ko-fi supporters, my Facebook subscribers, and of course my YouTube channel members. Without you, half of these adventures wouldn't have happened over the last year, and as I say, I couldn't be more grateful. So thank you very much for watching, thank you for all the support, and until the next time, keep it outdoor cook worthy, keep it interesting, have an absolutely fantastic day, and of course, my friends, farewell.